I heard about that. I heard there was quite a bit of like cheating involved in this last regional.
Yeah, a lot of stacking. I'm gonna say that now. It was a lot of stacking. My cousin watched something about who played the Gladiator Beast deck. He played his I forgot what deck he said. I think he was playing Salad. Yeah, he was playing Salad. He was doing good until he played against the pro player named Charlie. And I guess Charlie must have stacked him because he was pulling hands he never pulled. And it's funny because it was another player who was playing Flunderies. He said all his rounds he has never pulled a bad hand until he played against Charlie. That's crazy for you to pull 3 F-hands, Riser in a Apex Avion.
Yeah, that is pretty insane.
For Flunders though.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to the stream. Sorry about that last one. We are just working on getting it to where I can show you guys the profile and have him on the screen here at the same time so you can see his wonderful face and the deck profile as well as to what he played over at the Indianapolis Regional. So yeah, I heard there was a lot of things about people cheating and stuff there at the regional, and then I even know, well, even recently, like cheating's just kind of got out of hand, to be honest. Like the one Dragon Link player on the remote duel got caught stacking or dropping a Veiler into his hand, like the way he was shuffling his deck and everything.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. But okay, so we're back with JoJo Gaming here. Sorry about the previous live; we were having some issues, and I just wanted to get it set up to where you guys could see him. You know, you guys see me all the time, so go ahead and introduce yourself again. Sorry about that, and then tell us what you played and where you placed, and we'll go in through the deck here little by little.
All right, so once again, my name is Joseph Alvarez, aka Jojo Gaming. That's how you can find me on YouTube. And I played my Invoke deck, Invoke DPE Damatica, or Invoke Damatica DPE, however y'all want to call it.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, Indiana region. Managed to come in 37th place out of 580 people, 85-ish.
Roughly,
and,
yeah.
It was a 10-round regional, so imagine how tired I was. This was the most
I couldn't imagine getting to top tables and being that tired. Like, that was insane. It was insane.
I feel like if I had enough energy, I probably would never misplay the way I miss. It's like when you lose by a misplay, it kind of demotivates you. And I felt that experience because I kept asking myself after I lost from that misplay, why did I do that? I had the game like literally, why did you do that? And it went bad from there, but at least I still came in 37th place. Like I said, I found 85 players.
You still got your invite. I mean, you could have scrubbed out like me, and I went 5-5, and that was the end of it. I just broke even.
Oh wow.
I got real like shit on because I lost every die roll walking into the event, and then every die roll I lost, which was I'm pretty sure it was like 8 out of the 10 rounds. I literally damn near auto lost to just DPE Scythe. Like that's all everybody was playing, and I'm like,
that's what all was there. You are not lying. That's why certain cards you see in my deck, they in there for that specific reason. And the cards that we was talking about, me like switching out for. That's why I'm gonna have those type of cards in there. But I only won 2 dice rolls, and them were 2 games I won.
Oh well, the good. It worked opposite for you then. That's what it was. I wish my luck was that good.
Yeah, because every time when I went first, I'm like, yo, why can't you get a good here? Like I had going second. But yeah, in depth into the deck, I can't see the deck profile. I think I gotta go get the cards.
Nah, here I got you. Hold on, I gotta share the screen again. That's my fault. Oop. Share.
All right.
You can go back downstairs if you want to, Anastasia. No, hold on. Now I gotta shrink you back down here. I don't know why. Oh no. Well, no, I don't. Here, we'll just go into the deck. That's fine. Cool. Okay.
All right. I played 3 Aleister Crowley. So if anybody don't know the story behind Aleister Crowley, look it up because it's pretty much the same as Aleister the Invoker. Konami is very wise for that. I played 3 Dominica Ecclesias. It's pretty much to help me turbo into Anaconda and get E out. I played 1 Florida Lease. I played 2 Ashes, 2 Ghost Ogres, and 1 Drone. And you'll see the reason why I play it like that. I also played 2 Lances. I played 1 Driver, 1 Celestial, 3 Magical Meltdowns, 1 Fusion Destiny.
Yeah, well, I gotta stop you there real quick. Why do you play just the 1 Fusion Destiny? Why just the 1?
Because if you draw the 1 in your hand, it's not a brick. But if you draw 2 in your hand, that's pretty bad. So I'd rather play it at 1 because you can get it off Anaconda, or if you just have it in your hand starting off, it's not a brick card at all.
No, someone's gonna stay down there.
It's not like Red Eyes Fusion to where you can't summon, do nothing afterwards. This card, you can combo and then activate.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so if I was to have info like Alistair here with Ecclesia, I could literally just go Alistair play, make my Macabre, and then I could go into the Dominica stuff, and then just use the Destiny. I meant to say, I'm sorry about that. I meant to say, use your Destiny, then go into the Dominica stuff like the Dear Servant.
Yeah.
To add the Ecclesia and you know how they go.
Yeah, I was picking up what you were putting down.
Yeah. 2 Super Polys, 2 the Dear Servants, 2 Pot of Prosperities, 3 Droplets, 2 Triple Tactics Talent, 3 of my MVP card that got coming in clutch for me.
I'm so glad that I wasn't the only player there playing this card. Like, I was side decking this card in Sword Soul because of the Mirror and Token Collector.
Yeah, it was funny because when I played the Mirror match against Invoke, I crossed out his invocation. He was pretty pissed about that. I was like, hey, I don't care about having 1 invocation in deck as long as I got it.
That's what matters.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you. 1 Call Battle Grave, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 1 Schism. I ain't gonna lie, I'm thinking about taking this Shadal stuff out because I can see that it's very, very, very easy to get over window in this format.
Dracovac is a hell of a card. It outs the window.
Not just that, but people be having those God imperms and droplets. I'm like, bro, I just can't catch a break. That's why I decided to play Crossout Designated in my deck to counter the droplets and the infinite impermanence. But apparently, since people now know that, you know, that spells are very chainable to droplets, they drop a spell out their hand to make it not chainable.
Yep.
And then if I don't have Schism set, there's no way for me to block it. So, because it was this one instance I had that someone used forbidden droplets and they dropped a spell. I changed Schism, then I changed my cross out to call forbidden droplet, and they was not happy about that.
Yeah, well, no, because it's kind of like with DDD and their the Siegfried. They can chain the headhunt to the droplet, so that way Siegfried can negate the droplet.
Yeah, I seen a lot of DDDs that too. Was a DDD at a top table with me when I kind of fart. My brain farted very bad. It farted very, very bad.
I mean, there was some interesting decks at top, but at the same time during this format, and I believe this is like another grass format where a bunch of people are just playing pile decks with a bunch of different engines, and you're literally just dealing with things like an Adodic deck topped, you know, and the only reason he topped is he was playing Brave.
Argotics with Brave?
Yeah, he was playing Brave Adodic because Adodic doesn't need the normal summon. Any deck that doesn't really need the normal or doesn't rely heavily on the normal summon, the Brave Engine's very good in.
Yeah, I bet he played Orcus with that too.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
I seen a Deathfield play. I was thinking about playing Despia for this regional. Actually, I was literally at the hotel looking at my gestures. I was like, man, I bought the case. I pulled you out this case. This my first nation event back. Do I play you? And it was just that it was a lot of stuff in my head, like play the deck that you're comfortable with, type stuff. And I'm like, but I think I'll do good with Despia. But I was like, forget it. I'm gonna do Invoke. But next time I am going with my bag and I'm playing Despia.
Well, Despia going into this next format is going to be insane because Branded Fusion is a hell of a
Yes.
card. It's a
Yes.
one card Dragoon, especially with the new structure deck coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be the reason either Anaconda or Dragoon itself gets banned.
Probably they might keep Anaconda around though, due to the new product plan support that's supposed to be
Yeah,
coming that
that's
I really like also.
yeah. You are correct. They might keep it around just for that. Um, but I think we all got to adjust. The horse in the room. Uh, Scythe needs to go or Dagda needs to go. One or the.
If Dagda go, there's no way possible people could do the scythe combo
Well, I
without
mean, you
having
have you
to.
have they have to either add in the extra bricks with Sanctums, or they have
Yep,
to literally play
100%.
3 copies of Scythe to hope to see it in their opening hand.
Yep, they gotta play three scythes or three sanctums in one scythe, and that sanctum could get ashed, so people ain't
It's
worried
more of
about
a it's
sanctum.
more of a fair way to play the Scythe versus. I think Dagda's got to go, and that's what I
Yeah,
think.
he the reason, you know. And another thing, the reason I'm gonna say this, I'm a Dino player, so so lucky that this Latias had to take a hit to make it look good. It is. I just gotta put that out there because if this was at three, people would be complaining about how you ran this still.
Oh yeah, have you read Misk? I know my buddy Joel actually has the tattoo of Misk on his arm. He's a big fan of
Yeah.
Misk. And I'm an ex Dino player as well. I mean, my Glad channel started originally on a video of me playing Dinos and almost getting my invite in Columbus when Misk was at one. Um,
I think the Columbus YCS.
no, regional. I should have said
Oh,
regional.
okay, okay.
Um,
Well,
re-
I'm pretty known for dinosaur kaiju's. I originally was on Rogue Hero channel. If you literally put in a Dino Kaiju up on YouTube, my big forehead pop up.
I think with dinos, they could have easily just put Oviraptor to 1 and Misk at 3 would be fine.
Yeah, that's what I said. I told people that Oviraptor wasn't the problem. It's miscellaneous. If people wanted, if people now, I said Oviraptor was a problem, not miscellaneous, because all miscellaneous do is protect. But if Oviraptor was that one, what dinosaur would you bring out if Oviraptor was used already?
I mean,
And a
you.
lot of people was just saying like, man, no, it's miscellaneous. He has to go. I'm like, okay.
I mean, you've got other options too. Like I used to play in the Dino build that I played. I played one Dino Wrestler Stegosaur or whatever the level 4 that searches the Pancratops.
Oh yeah, I know that little guy. I
He,
played one of them too. His
See,
dude was
you could play
my
him.
needle
You
farm.
have Giant Rex. You've got there's Beat Raptor. You could even play, even though he's kind of bad. There are other level
He's
4
real bad.
Dino options. I mean,
I recommend no one to play Beat Raptor. He is very, very
he
bad.
is very bad. He's just a level 4 Dino that I could think of off at the top of my head.
But in my side deck was very interesting. I
It
was very
was
conflicted.
your side deck. You kind of got my attention here with the bit of the Dragoon here in your side deck.
I threw everyone off with that. They was so. I threw everybody off with that because you got a lot of slow players who like to try to play on the clock. So when I make Anaconda, I got it. He finna sacrifice 2,000 life points to bring out a DPE. Until I drop Red Eyes Fusion, they be like, holy fuck. So they
That's a
took me out.
problem.
I was throwing off a lot of people with that. That's I recommend that for everyone. Cause when you playing against someone, they don't know what you side in until you actually play it. But I do play two anti-spell fragments. It was the counter, the spell cards that hurt me. Droplets and Dark Ruler that hurts a lot of decks. I'm
Oh,
sure
hands
everyone
down.
knows what play 3 judgments, 3 there can only be ones, which a lot of Flunderies players said I sucked for still playing this, like going second. I'm like, how does that suck? You go first, you make your board, I go. You're gonna eventually stop me if I'm pulling Alistair Super to get rid of your barrier statue. So I'm gonna set this there going to be one of other cards. And it's funny because if you force the battle phase, they don't have no choice but to activate their trap, summon their monsters to bring out Mega Rounds and to bounce your cards.
Yep.
So after they do that, you just set your cards, pass on their turn, Tinkerboo, and they just right there, they look, they be like, wow, yeah. It works for me. I'm gonna continue to do it until.
I mean, because a lot of people will question the Tikaboo, especially with this format, because you're playing in a lot of decks that would lose to Rivalry over Tikaboo because of the the base deck and stuff that plays all these multiple engines. They can play around the there can only be one. Plus, again, Dracovac. Dracovac outs any floodgate.
That's one deck I haven't played. I was itching to play against that deck. I have not.
I played against Based. I played against Based round 6, and I lost because he DPE scythed me. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. Your deck does so much. And then, believe it or not, as many Flunder players as there was, I didn't play a single Flunder player out of 10 rounds.
I played 4.
I wish I would have played Flunder. I was prepared for Flunder. Our locals had got flooded with Flunder when it first came out. I would have loved to play it against a Flunder.
Yeah, I played against Guru first round.
Guru?
Yeah, literally. Third, fourth was Flunders.
Jesus.
Can I take a break from this deck?
Yeah, we got in our little group chat we have of me and the guys. We a lot of people hate Flunder right now. We're all hating on Flunder. We're like, can somebody just play a better deck than Flunder? Like Flunder, don't get me wrong. I gotta correct myself when I say that. Flunder is not a bad deck. Flunder by far is a decent deck. But Flunder, unlike any other deck right now, Flunder has a skill cap. It caps. It can't go. You can't learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh playing Flunder, because Flunder doesn't do much except for the same thing over and over and over. There's no really intricate plays. There's no, changing up your combos, because everything is literally normal summon, search, normal, search, normal, summon, M-pin. That's it.
Same thing over and over. It's like missionary every night with your girlfriend.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Occasionally you want to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. Now I also play Red Reboot. This card needs to come back to 3.
I think with Eldritch and Skill Drain at 3, yes, I agree. I think Red Reboot can come back to 3.
Yeah, it needs to, because I played against an Eldritch player and I literally I drew this card games 2 and 3. Red Reboot helped me beat that Eldritch player, and I was so happy that I pulled that. Like literally. That, as you saw the Red Eyes package, I do play the Dragoon, Harpy's Feather Duster, and 2 Cosmics.
The Cosmics, I'm assuming, is because of Scythe. The Cosmics, I'm assuming, are also because of Scythe.
Yeah, I was prepared for Scythe in my little way. Now, for the extra deck, I do play the Dark Charmer. He has came up. I had 2 DPEs.
Be stealing DPEs?
2 DPEs on the field because of this guy right now. I also play Endercada. That's how I get into my DPE or Dragoon. I play the Blacklisted Soldier of Chaos. This also helped me with Sky Striker.
I was gonna say this is really good against a Striker matchup. Unfortunately, I played Striker in round 3 and I lost because Sword Soul has an inherent loss against that deck. Sword Soul cannot outgrind Striker, and therefore almost every monster in your Sword Soul extra deck does nothing to Striker. It does not stop them in any way. Like Baron, cool, negate 1 card, they'll just pop it with Afterburner. It's like it doesn't matter. Like you can't stop. Like Sword Soul just inherently loses to Striker.
Yeah, yes it does.
It's just a slow loss.
Sky Striker is the deck that's, I'm not gonna lie, after this ban list, and when the Strikers get their new support, I really hope Konami don't do nothing crazy like bringing Engage back to 2.
I just want the deck to die, okay? I just want it to go away. It's been around long enough.
That's a headache.
It's had its fair time to shine. Go away.
Yeah. I'd rather for them to bring back Masterpiece before they bring anything back to Sky Striker Relay.
Yes, I agree. Well, to be honest, I think Masterpiece could come back anyway. Like Draco's not doing anything. Draco's not doing anything. They're not gonna do anything. You give them Masterpiece what to 1, and what Diagram's still at 1. Like it's not going to do anything for the deck.
Now I hope they don't do nothing crazy and bring that long back. We don't need that.
No. Let's leave Ding Long can stay on the list. He can stay on the list.
Yeah, keep him on that list.
I mean,
like doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, I know they brought Destrudo back with Halky still legal. I was shocked.
Yeah, because we were sitting here complaining and whining about Imperial Order. So I'm like, cool, we gonna get y'all Imperial Order, but we finna bring back these cards right here. No. Destrudo. Why?
Imperial Order could have stayed at 1. Imperial Order could have stayed at 1. It would have been fine.
I hated that card. I hated that card because it's like every lucky player just always had a card in their hand. And I'll be like, bro, like, this is why Red Reboot needs to be at 3 for cards like this. But
build that deck in real life and it pops off. Are you talking about the deck on the stream or are you talking about the deck that we're talking about?
You say who?
Somebody commented on the video. They're wondering, or he said, build that deck in real life and it pops off. So I'm just wondering what deck he's talking about since we're kind of all over the place.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about this deck right here. This deck right here, you definitely would get a lot of wins off this deck. If you could switch it up any way how you want to play it, but if you play it exactly in the way how I play it, to me, it's unorthodox. People wouldn't expect you to side out DBE for a Dragoon.
No, that threw me off when I seen this list.
Is for the stuff that stops this deck, you know, like Lancias, Droves, that hurt this deck.
He's talking about my Tri-Brigade Glad deck. He says build it and it pops off.
Yeah, Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast it's pretty good. I feel like if someone play that deck right now, put some time to it and like build it the way it's supposed to be built, I think people could top with that deck too. Because in this format, like I said, it's a lot of decks that's already known. But to be honest, a person can come in with a cubic Elvish deck and destroy this format because people
it
don't know what Crimson Nova do.
No. I've stolen a lot of wins in my day because people would just attack into like my 0 attack Appaloosa or my IP on the field, not knowing that Gladiator Beast Domitianus literally tells me that I get to declare your attack targets. So
I did that too. And I was like, wait, hold on, who switched the attack target?
Exactly.
I read them. I'm like, hold on, I ain't see this part of this text. All I saw was eat the game.
I've had somebody drop Mystic Mine on me with Domitianus on the field, and I'm sitting there like, okay. And then they proceed to normal summon Altergeist, Meluseek, and attempt to attack directly. Well, Domitianus is a continuous effect, so he's not negated by Mystic Mine. So you just switch the attack from direct to Domitianus, and they literally eat 3K to the face.
Yeah, that's sad. I do play one Artemis, and that's it for the links.
Now, a question on the Artemis real quick. Why play the Artemis and then still play the Purgatrio?
Because I had a lot of people that I played against people like Frank Kids. They had fires. People love to ask me. That's a fire.
True. You're right. I didn't think about Prank Kids. Yeah, Prank Kids is one of the biggest decks on the meta right now. So yeah, you can just kind of plus off of that.
And he actually helped me destroy a Prank Kid board. Like, you know how they summon all that little monsters?
Oh yeah, you just eat through it because he also pierces too.
I baited out that Battle Butler. I baited him out by impermanent. He had to use it. So yeah, and I was like, okay, Invocation, make my Purgatrio.
And then we got the one standard Macabre.
Yep, the one standard Macabre. I should be playing that at 2, but I only play it at 1. All goodies. He came up a lot for me. All giddies, all goodies, however you say his name.
He's an OTK machine, so.
Yeah, he helped me get over a 5K Dragoon. Raijin also was pretty good for me.
I like the Raijin tech. I like the Raijin with the super poly to get over the barrier statue. That's.
Yeah, the barrier statue and Epin.
Oh yeah, and Impin. You're right. Now this right here, Why? Why?
I was gonna get to that. So I was playing against. It was so bad. It'd be funny when players get like mad and you know they mad because they don't be wanting to talk. They just get up and leave after they lose. But
Yep.
if they was the ones to win, they want to talk all day about how they won. So it was this one player, he had barricaded the floor in DBE on the field at the same time. And he just kept hassling me like, I don't think you're that going to get over these two cars right here. I dropped Super
No,
Poly,
you didn't.
like,
Did you really super poly his DPE and Baron?
yes,
Oh my god! I literally went over here real quick and looked at DPE. I'm like, oh, that's right. He's a warrior. Baron's a warrior. You fucking super polyed his shit into the steel. That's fun. Oh my god.
It was real funny. It was real funny because then he tried to imperm it, and I was like, all right, negate it.
Because it's anti-targeting. Oh my!
He was like, I don't understand how people play bad cards and win. I'm like, I can say the same about the strike. You tried to strike me. Well, like, what you mean? Literally tried to cite me and say he don't understand how people win off bad cards. Another card that I do play that came up a lot was Mud Dragon.
Oh, I'm sure.
I played the Star River Fusion Dragon.
Best two super poly targets, hands down.
It definitely is, hands down. I also played Alcalone with the Window, of course. That's how you get into your skills. Then I ended it off with DPE and Dragoon. They brothers from another mother.
Literally, brothers from another mother with a different father. Now, how often did you resolve the schism here to make the window? Like, and how effective was the window?
A lot, and it wasn't effective. That's why I said I'm gonna take it out.
And it wasn't effective.
It was not effective. It's like the Pokemon game when you a normal type move hit a ghost type, it wasn't effective. Yeah. So the reason why I say that is because, like I said, I went first twice, and Window was the reason that I lost both those games. She was supposed to stop Sorosol. Apparently, that didn't work.
No, not with the fact that we literally like you can just dump the Vashuda and then bounce the window and just continue to play.
I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
He made it my macabre, and yeah, that's what happened. Vashuda bounced her. I'm like, oh my god, I used to play this card. How can I forget?
Yep. I got hounded a lot when I played Glads and I didn't play Vashuda, and everybody's like, well, why don't you play Vashuda? And I'm like, I just don't like the Vashuda. Like, because the Vashuda only comes up if you have the Ondal in hand. So I just, and I never really appreciated Vashuda's true value until I started playing Sword Soul, and then I realized Vashuda is a hell of a card.
Yeah, it is. It is. I played Dango Kaiju, and it was a hell of a card for me. When I just Kaiju somebody, bounce my Kaiju back, and Kaiju them again, and just Conductor come out, and it was like, that's not fun. But yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about was what we explained earlier. There was a lot of cheating going on in Indianapolis. So to those players that are new, even to those that's been in the game long enough to know where chain links and rulers are, be careful from the slow players. And this is how it's easy to identify a slow player. They play slow. Don't hassle them. Be nice to them. And this is one of the reasons why I'm playing this card that you put on the screen right now, Moonlight Shield. So you don't have to hassle them. They go slow. Let them do their thing. Because if it was you going slow, of course they'll rush you. That's what they love to do. But to counter that, I like to play cards like Moonlight Shield. Also, the other hand trap that gains you life each time they special summon. That'll make them play fast.
Oh, the sad girl and dead dog is what I call it. It's
Yeah, Dogwood.
Dogwood.
So that'll make them play fast, and they have to think about what they want to do. Because at the end of the day, like I said, slow players love to look at that clock. And the more they look at that clock, the more more explorer they're going to play, because then they get to acting crazy, like they don't know what certain cards do.
Yep.
I had a player that picked up my Alistair and read it, and I'm like, dude, you serious? You ain't did that game one when I went. Like, literally.
I've had a guy pick up an Ash Blossom after I've ashed him previously and read the Ash Blossom. Then he proceeds to ash me the next turn. I'm like, how did you not... okay.
That happened to me at Rosemont Regional before the pandemic happened. Some kid was reading every single... I'm not going to call him a kid. He was around my age. He read every single dinosaur card. This back when Orcus was still at full power. He read every single dinosaur card.
You know what? I think we were probably at the same regional then, because I played at the Rosemont Regional right before all this happened, and I played Gladiator Beast, pure Glad Beast, because it was before Tri Brigade, but it was when everybody was on the Lunalite Orchest, when Tiger was a broken ass card and all that.
Yep, that's what was played. So this dude, he read everything, and then proceeded to summon an Oviraptor on me. I think he read my Oviraptor, my Peel, my Koalas. He proceeded to summon Oviraptor on me. I called the judge over, and I told the judge what he did, but due to it wasn't proof that he done that.
Yeah.
They gave me a warning for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
What? So that, like I said, you all have to be careful in stacking. Please watch your opponent when they cut your deck. They be looking down at your cards to see what you're playing.
Yep.
I got a cousin who got stacked, and I got a friend who was playing Flunderies that got stacked. Apparently gave him 3 F-pins, an Epic Stemion, and Mega Riser. Which Flunderies player would ever pull those first 5 cards going first? Think about that. So when you got someone you expect them to stack it, call for a final cut. They shuffle your deck up again, call the judge. Because when you call for a final cut, it's supposed to be a straight cut. It don't supposed to be a shuffle. It's supposed to be a straight cut. That's why a lot of these pro players top a lot, because they know how to rule shark, they know how to drain the clock, and most importantly, stacking is very important. So
going into this regional, I was well prepared and thinking that, like, I'm gonna go into time a lot because Prank Kids. I've played Prank Kids. I have multiple OTS tops with Prank Kids. Prank Kids is just a deck that if the player wants to be rude and he wants to take up the time, he can, for sure. And it's pathetic that a lot of people abuse the mechanic of Prank Kids just to gain the life, burn the life, and then go into time and win in such like a pathetic manner. It's no different than DPE scything. Trickstar, that was another perfect example. It's Droll Lockbird with the reincarnation. Like, it's...
Then you keep burning.
You burn for no reason, and it's man.
Yep. That's how these players be. They like to play those type of decks because they know it abuse the clock. But I feel like if Konami was to implement a rule that a player has 5 minutes to make they play their entire board, their entire turn, I feel like you'll have a lot of people that play fast. I mean, if you gotta read a card, of course, it's gonna pause their 5 minutes that they have to do their board. But I feel like something needs to be implemented for these slow players to stop slow playing and abusing the clock for they win, because you got people that Despia is gonna be a prime example.
That Masquerade. Masquerade. Yeah, he's gonna be terrible.
Yes, it's cost regardless of what you do. If you super volley, you gotta pay cost.
You still have to pay the 6.
You do except Kaiju.
Yep, because Kaiju doesn't activate. So any kind of card or effect that you decide to activate, or anything that causes an activation, has to pay the 600, including even if you attempt to droplet the card. Its effect can still burn you for the 6 because it's not activating in response to droplet. It's forcing you. It's a continuous effect that's forcing you to pay the cost of the card.
Yep, you gotta pay the cost to activate the card. It's like, I love the card. Don't get me wrong, I love it because I'm thinking about playing the deck, but I'm not gonna do that to anybody be an asshole about playing burn cards. Can't nobody say I play slow. I play too fast. If you ask me, I need to start slowing down on what I do. That's how I
That's
play.
I had another. I had a player on my team when we were there that decided that's one of the biggest reasons like he lost a couple too was he's like Raymond, I don't like to slow play. You know, he's like, hey, I like to just get my turn. I know what to do. I know my deck. I play it out, and then I go ahead and I pass. I let my opponent have a turn. You know, I try to play the game as fair as possible. I said, I know, but the closer you get to top tables, the less fair your opponent's going to be.
Because there was a lot of, man, I didn't arm wrestle someone. I made friends. It was like
yeah, you arm wrestled my friend Trent. Shout out to Trent. You arm wrestled Trent. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a stalemate. That's literally that's what, man. It was very fun. Now. It was very, very fun. Except when I started getting higher, like on terms, it was this one guy. He was playing Brave Phantom Knights. Now, when he cut my deck, I let it slide because I was already tired. But he did some weird cut. When I drew my hand, are you kidding me, bro? Like, what is this? I drew it to Driver, Celestial, a fucking in my 3 Alisters. And I know a lot of people would think that that's broken. That is not broken against a Brave Phantom like that.
No, it's not.
So then when we went to game 2, I told him final cut, and he tried that little weird thing again. I'm like, no, man, look, cut my deck, final cut. When I did that, I won. Game 3, again, he tried it out. Final cut, dude. I'm finna keep doing this with you, final cut. And once he final cut it again, I won. You gotta just be careful from people who like to look down at the, then they'll do it slick. Cause like even if you look at them face to face, they'll head to the side, but they'll still be doing like this.
Yeah, they'll try to catch something with their peripheral.
Yeah, for the peripheral view, and it's like a lot of people say, man, it's just a card game. Just relax. Cause there's been times I got angry at my opponent. And I do get upset at myself for that because I'll be like, now they make a fool out of me because they say it's just cardboard, it's just a game. If it's just a game, why you gotta cheat?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, if it's just a game, why don't you just sit down and play a fair match then? Like
exactly. If it's just a game, why you gotta cheat? I seen somebody cheating a girl. I'm like, bro, it's a girl. Like, why you gotta cheat a girl?
Or the people who just do that to like the little kids and stuff too. It's like they're there to like have the fun experience. Like my round 2, I played against a guy who was obviously inexperienced. It was his first regional, and he was playing what I thought was a Utopia structure deck because he summoned Goblinberg, he made Utopia, and then just set one card and passed. And the card he set was like Blistering Winds. So that's right there. What told me is I'm pretty sure he's playing a Utopia structure deck. And I mean, of course, I got the win. You know, it's a regional. It's round 2. I'm still trying to move forward, but I didn't just mind fuck the kid out of the game. You know, I sat there, I talked with him, I helped him. You know, I traded him a couple cards that he needed for maybe future endeavors and such. And I tried to teach him as much as I could in that round. You know, I told him, okay, I was like, hey, when they activate this card, you want to stop this card. You know, don't take the bait on this card. You want, and then I'm a Utopia fan too. I love Utopia. He's my favorite, anime character from the whole series. And so I told him, like, okay, if you want this, you want to try to look, and I gave him a list of cards to try to pick up, play a more competitive, more interactive variant of the deck versus just coming to a regional with a structure deck. Because, I mean, I admit, at once, I was that kid. I didn't go to a regional, but I went to a event that they were hosting at a hotel nearby in town when I was a lot younger. And I took the original dinosaur structure deck with Superconductor Tyranno. And I literally went and I entered the tournament with the structure deck. And, some people helped me out the same way I helped this guy out. So, you can't... You cheat people, There's no fun in the game.
That's how I was with this kid who played, dinosaur kaijus. I even gave him the dinosaur map that I bought from Team Sam. And that map wasn't cheap. It was expensive, but I gave it to him out of the strength of, he reminded me of me. His motivation in playing that deck reminded of me, of me. So I was like, you know what? I'm finna help him out. And I gave him the cards. I'm like, yeah, these cards you use, this how you use it. And he wound up beating one of my friends, who actually played the game. And I looked at my friend and I ain't gonna lie, he was gonna cheat him. I looked at him and said, yeah, I'm standing right here, so I dare you to try to cheat him. I know every dinosaur rule, don't do it. And he wound up saying, you know what, actually, you got it. And I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, because I was going to get on your butt if you would have tried to cheat him. But yeah, my little protege. Thank you for having me on your channel, though. Hopefully everybody will take in that knowledge of people who like to real life do that stuff. Like, pay attention to their face. If you see them look at your card, if you feel like they look at your cards, final cut.
Final cut. Call the judge. I know sometimes the judges aren't, the most resourceful. One thing I have to say when putting it on that too, because I've made this mistake at past regionals, is you can always appeal a judge. The only one you cannot appeal is a head judge. Keep that in mind. So if you don't like what a judge is called or what a judge is trying to dictate, then feel free to appeal him. You can appeal the judge. I had a judge do me dirty. He gave my opponent extra time because my opponent didn't think I could summon Lava Golem under Kali Yuga. I mean, first of all, Lava Golem doesn't activate, doesn't start a chain or anything. It's a kaiju. It summons.
Yeah.
And so, and then the judge came over, and there was less than 10 seconds left on the clock, and they gave him a time extension. I said he didn't need a time extension. He asked a ridiculous, dumb question just to get a time extension.
Yeah, that's why I say that stuff has to stop. Like, people know that's a mechanic. That's like, people read, someone read a kaiju on Meatball. And I know he been playing this game for a long time due to the deck he was playing. Anybody who play meta decks, that means they've been playing this game. They know what these cards do. Why do you have to read a kaiju? It literally said on its text, special summon to your opponent's side of the field by triggering their bomb.
Yep.
So what's the ruler?
I mean, the only time that you can really question a kaiju is if something is preventing cards from being tributed, like Zombie World or stuff like that. Other than that, there's no reason to really question a kaiju.
Ruler, you can actually still kaiju on a Zombie World.
How so?
It's a mechanic. I had that same ruler.
Huh.
I'm a kaiju V when I was playing my eldest zombies. I'm like, hey man, there's something real over here. You can't kaiju V. They was like, yeah, I can. It just stopped cards like Flunderies from they tribute, because they tribute is different than the kaiju tribute. Something they said the mechanic. I'm like, oh, all right. But some judges lounge. Even in Kaiju versus Zombie World, they tell you that you still Kaiju in the Zombie World. I was like, okay, I guess I was wrong this whole time.
That's well.
And I had previous opponents, dude, you cheated me. I'm like, bro, it say on the card you can't tribute, but okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like cards like Masker Restrict. Masker Restrict would I believe would prevent a kaiju because you can't tribute cards. Period. You can't tribute cards. Period. Yeah, because you can't even play True Draco. You can't even tribute spells and traps for Dracos under Masker Restrict.
Yep, that was the card that I was using back in the day with True Dracos was thing.
Yeah, that's what we had a couple True Draco players too before I died off at our locals, and shout out to my buddy Matt. He's the True Draco god. He plays that deck religiously, and I side that card against him every time because it's a blowout card. You flip it, then you play the game.
I also want to shout out to my big brother. He was the reason why I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! So rest out to my friend Brandon Phillips. He the one that got me on the Dino Kaijus. Shout out to my cousin Brandon McMasters. He the one that be teaching me rulers from here and there. Me and him arguing a lot because I'm just competitive. I'm real competitive. Shout out to my friend David Tucker. He was on a couple channels with his Dark Magician deck and his Grand Eyes deck. Shout out to Rogue Hero, man. putting me out there a lot too. He the reason why I got the exposure on my YouTube. So I'm glad to do work with other YouTubers also that love to play this game. Continue y'all motivation if this is a goal of y'all to achieve. If this is a hobby, do not ever cancel this hobby. It's a very
It's a
fun
very, very
game.
good hobby.
It's a
Very good
nice feat.
way to escape from such like a toxic environment and the conditions that the world is in right now. And you can go and play with your friends and escape a lot of
Yep.
issues. I've buried myself in Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes because when my dad passed away this last year, I spent a lot of time
Sorry to hear
into
that.
into Yu-Gi-Oh because I had you guys there to support me through the channel and everything and all that kind of stuff. So any
Support
you
means a lot,
so
man.
exactly in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, it does have its toxic people. It does have its toxic traits. But and a lot of us, there are a lot of good people when it comes to the community.
Like Trent, man, he was a very cool guy, man. He could have told me to fuck off when I told him let's go around or anything, but he took that challenge. He a fun guy, man. I like being around people like that because it makes Yu-Gi-Oh fun.
It
It can
does.
be
It does.
fun,
Makes
and
it more enjoyable.
competitive, knowing that we still friends at the end of the day. You can't just like others who take it hard.
No, the cards did nothing wrong. Like it's
Exactly. I hate it. Then one, like I said, bring this back. I hate when players do this. If they win, they want to sit there and down you and how they won. They want to continue to talk about it. Like, yeah, man, if I would have
they
did
want to
this, you
gloat.
still would never did. You still would never won because I had this, I had that. Like, why down me? Why you just can't tell me like you played a good game? That's it. Just like the pro players. If you beat a pro player, they don't like to tell you, "Oh, good game." It's only a few pro players that like. I can name a few. James Harman, RJ, those type of people, they very cool because they'll be like, hey, good game. But if you go against the the others, man, they'll down talk you. They'll be like, this is a stupid deck. Like, I lost to a stupid card. And man, I got to shout out to my local Emporium TCG. I love that local. When I'm able to go there, I love that local. Man, it's you meet a lot of good people there too. The vibe there is catastrophic. We have fun now.
Yes.
I
Where's
love
that
it.
local? Where's that local located?
This on Lawrence, 3736 West Lawrence, but it's in Chicago, like towards close to the brown line on Kimball.
Okay.
No, is Kimball the last time? Yeah, Kimball. Is
I'll
around
have
that
to
area.
I'll have to
It's
swing by
just
there and check out that local next time I'm over in Chicago or when there's another Rosemont regional.
yeah, you're
I'll
gonna
make
love it.
I'll make
You're
sure to
gonna
swing
love
by
it.
there and check them out for sure.
You're gonna love it. They just sold out the Masters. Sold out like
There we go. It, Jester was at like 170 a pop. Somebody bought like 8 of them, and then literally goes like 2 hours later. 2 hours later, then it got hit with the ghost reprint confirmed, and it's like, damn, that bitch dropped like half the price.
yeah, now he's like 70, $60. That's why when I hate that's why I still got my justice. A lot of my friends was telling me to sell it. I'm like, it's hard for me to do that because I pulled. I didn't buy them off nobody else.
You
I
put,
pulled them.
yeah, you pulled them. It's
So
a
it's like buying an animal from the pet store. If you buy that animal when it's a baby, you want to raise it to be the adult.
yep,
So when I pulled Justin out of that box, he became my child. I pulled him. I'm not getting rid of him.
yep.
I can't get rid of my Justin.
I feel
I
that.
just can't wait for the token. That token looks sick, man.
I'm excited for the Tri Brigade tokens. So
Oh man, you got the new Travis Gage support coming out of that. You can play Travis Gage with Thespius now. I heard because of that
just
support.
because of the one little bird in the structure deck.
That is insane. Who want to deal with a masquerade and a fucking revolt? What the hell?
Let's just put up a non-target banish on top of the fact that I'm gonna burn you for 6 to 12, 1,200, depending on how many masquerades I have.
Yeah, that's another danger. Then Chimera is another.
Chimera, I watched Pac play some, shout out to Pac too. I watched him play some Despia in a local, and Jesus Christ, uh, Chimera is a hell of a card. I get a pop and draw? What? That's just.
2 pops
Yep.
and a draw.
Yeah.
That's amazing against Blonde Reeds. Amazing.
It's amazing against a lot of decks.
Yeah. And then Comedy going to be a good card because if they try to imperm to negate your Chimera, if you don't have a polarization engraved, you can chain your Comedy to just tribute them off the cost, summon it, and Chimera still pops off. Destroy 2, draw 1, imperm fizzles.
Yep.
Man. Well, thanks, Glad Dad. I'm on my PlayStation 5 and play some dual masters, so use that DDD Dynamite deck on me again.
Oh Lord. Yeah, well, I mean.
Yeah, I pray nobody play that in real life, man. It's too consistent.
Well, I'm glad to have had you on the channel too. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and coming and talking to me. It's on the regional and some ways to play at the region profile. Everybody watching too, I will take a picture of his deck profile and I will post a post with just the picture so you guys can go back and see what he played. And I hope everybody else just enjoys watching the video.
All right, peace.
Peace out, man.
All right, have a nice one.
You too. And that's going to be it for the stream, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed somewhat of the content. You know, I know it's a little kind of meh, iffy on because of the fact that I don't really have a PC to do this on, so I'm kind of working on my wife's old PC here, trying to use that. But I'm working on getting a better computer. We'll make the content better, and I will see you guys next time in the Coliseum.